bulletproof, don't ever lose. Put the evil in the devil and I'm letting loose. I'm an earthquake, make your bones shake. There's no question I'm the king, I always dominate. A force to be reckoned with, better remember it. Look at what I can do, walking all over you. Incredible, it's criminal, I never lose. I'm bulletproof. I'm bulletproof, don't ever lose. Put the evil in the devil and I'm letting loose. I'm an earthquake, make your bones shake. There's no question I'm the king, I always dominate. A force to be reckoned with, better remember it. Look at what I can do, walking all over you. Incredible, it's criminal, I never lose. I'm bulletproof. Safety nets are overrated, yeah. If you make one, you will fall. Too much of a temptation, yeah. There's a comfort in the crowd. Now I've been on my feet too long. I know I'm strong, just looking for some solid ground. So I can start to run. I don't wanna be tired, moving so bad. I don't wanna be tired. You feel like something new. You feel like something. You feel like something new. You feel like something. Don't just stop it. Doing what you do. When I lay back, holding on to you. Ooh, ooh, feel like something new. Yeah. Got my senses here on overload. All my body is for you to hold. Ooh, 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 feel like something new. Yeah. And I never thought that you got me wanting. Never thought that ooh, never thought that I'd be saying you feel more like a dream. Yeah. You feel like something new. You feel like something. You feel like something new. You feel like something. I feel like I'm in another galaxy. Take my time in your eternity. Ooh, ooh, feel like something new. Yeah. And I never thought that you got me wanting. Never thought that ooh, never thought that I'd be saying you feel more like a dream. Yeah. Feel like something. 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 Feel like something.
We're not the only ones. 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 Days gone. I won't waste another one. Oh, that darkness, it won't set me back again. Oh, I'm not asleep or awake. I won't let the future escape. Take me back to you. We're not the only ones. 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 We're not the only. We're not the only ones. We're not the only ones. Heads down, they will watch us shake the ground. Oh, this lightness, it will fill the air around. Oh, I'm not asleep or awake. I won't let the future escape.
I pack my suitcase, headed out the door, I keep my shoes laced. 2,000 miles away from home, a couple dollars in my pocket, never stopped the boy before. I load my bags and hit the road.
Miles past, turning back, found my track, face the fact, she a cold one. Never gonna settle for none, stay up every night till I won. Don't want a slow rise now, I'm confident opulence isn't a long ride out. When I look back now, I'm astounded. A quiet boy from old age, but always felt the world was a stage, yeah. I celebrate one last late night, my old life ain't staying.
I pack my suitcase, headed out the door, I keep my shoes laced. 2,000 miles away from home, a couple dollars in my pocket, never stopped the boy before. I load my bags and hit the road.
I'm headed to LA, I'm headed on my way, I'm headed on my way to LA, headed on my way to,
Couple thousand miles, throw it on the dash. Shit, the 10,000 hours, can't let them pass. Yeah, well, I was putting time in, you was pulled up wildin'. You always had shit to say, now when I see you, it's silence. Thought I'd have a Grammy by 25. Commas after commas next to dollar sign, yeah. Had to remind myself why I'm living this life. Look at all the late nights, it'll all come in due time, yeah.
made for the fight, for the pain and the climb, tied to the life I chose. Stay through the night, another day, not a dime, race against time. I couldn't just lay by and wonder what I could have made mine. I'm closing on the moment, no one's gonna hold me down.
I pack my suitcase, headed out the door, I keep my shoes laced. 2,000 miles away from home, a couple dollars in my pocket, never stopped the boy before. I load my bags and hit the road.
but I left my distractions behind. In the meantime, I'll blindfold my pride and keep hold of my time like it's gold. Fading from color, reaching to find when I'm on the high. Saying it'll all be fine, wanna sit around and waste the time. Fading from color, stuck in the backseat, told to drive.
Good evening, guys. Welcome on into yet another day of ESL Challenger League. It is season 49 and it is Oceania, and I'm Elfish Guy. Pilsky here tonight with me. We've got Housebets and Underground. We got to watch Underground last week a little bit, Pilsky. Haven't seen Housebets yet, so this should be a fun one.
For sure. Housebets being a team that the core of this roster, if it is the Housebets that I remember, being one of the top teams in Oceania in the past, maybe had a little bit more of a strugglesome 2024, some might say, but I think if they're able to put the pieces back together, they always have the, experience and the know-how of how to play CS well enough to where they could kind of come back a little bit, become a top team again, and maybe even contend for some international opportunities. But to play through the rest of ECL first is where we kind of probably need to see that potential.
Yeah, no games yet for Housebets this season, so bit of a question mark over how things are going to look for them. As we understand, PZ has come back into the roster in place of Omichella, so there's a little bit of a head-to-head there, I guess. Omichella now in this Underground roster that, as we said, we got to see a little last week. They did drop a 0-2 against Vantage in pretty unfortunate fashion. Both of those maps going pretty close. We thought, maybe there was a world where Underground could win one of those. Actually, probably a world where they could have won both of them, frankly. But tonight against Housebets, I think on paper, it's probably more of a test, really, for Underground than what Vantage was last week. So if they can't get past Vantage, I do have my doubts as to whether or not they're going to get past Housebets. But on a similar token, I'm kind of interested to see what level Housebets is going to bring, because I can't imagine that they've actually had a whole lot of Counter-Strike to play over the last sort of few months. If I go back and look at their last match, their last official was actually in October last year, 19th of October in 2024. So that's a good sort of over 3 months, actually, that they haven't had any officials. And I'm sure, yes, they've been scrimming and whatnot. But it'd be interesting to just sort of see the level that they're going to bring in. And no real surprises that we're going to go towards one of the more middle of the map pool type maps in Dust 2. Sort of just shake it out here early on in the season and see what's going to happen. And more importantly, how Housebets is going to look. And I think also what PZ is going to look like coming back into the fold, because he has definitely been out for a little while.
Yeah, I think, look, I don't know how active Housebets has been, but it is only early days in the year. We're still in January. So I think a lot of these teams early on in the ECL leagues, and then even back to when, it used to be ESCA and back in earlier times in CSGO, I think this early in the year, a lot of teams would maybe not even be packing that much in Oceania, and they're just kind of working their way back into things. Really depends on what the expectations were upon the team and if you had an org and all that kind of stuff. So I really wouldn't be surprised if you see some kind of sloppier Counter-Strike, some teams that look like they're a little bit rusty at this point in the year. But I guess that really depends on, like I said, how much Housebets are really putting a premium on being a top team in the region this year. Omichella being the player to watch, definitely had a rough start to the series last week when we got to watch him, but he has a great ceiling, and he's always been a player that there's definitely talent there. So you could tell when he started to focus up a little bit, and when the game got a little bit rougher, he did start having some pretty massive rounds, and he is playing against his old team, as you mentioned.
Yeah, exactly. I think he's always going to be a player that we are pretty interested in seeing performing, just because we've, I think, followed a fair chunk of his career now in the same vein that we have a lot of players, obviously, throughout the years that we've been casting CS, and sort of watched him come from I suppose that more like tier 2 sort of space, and start to kind of grind his way up, and then obviously getting that opportunity with Housebets towards the end of last year. We thought, okay, great, this is going to be his maybe like TJP to Rooster moment, if that makes sense. His opportunity to go from like a tier 2 team, quite a solid tier 2 player, into what is now a tier 1 team. Obviously, things didn't really work out in that respect for both for him and for Housebets. I think for Omichella, he didn't necessarily stand out like crazy within that Housebets roster, and also for Housebets, just generally speaking, they didn't really look too crash hot towards the end of last year. I don't really know what it's going to look like this year for Housebets. I think if I had to make my prediction, I would say they're probably just going to sort of sit again around that sort of upper middle of the pack. But we'll see. We'll see if they can manage to make that push back into being considered potentially one of the front runners behind FlyQuest. I personally wouldn't have them there at the moment. I think if I'm looking at the teams in ESL Challenger League for this season, the teams that I'm really keeping an eye on particularly are probably Rooster versus Talon. how that matchup would go. But then also as a third sort of seed or a third fiddle, I guess it would maybe be Mind Freak for me, even ahead of Housebets at this stage. Though obviously a lot of that can change as we continue to go through the season. So I guess at the moment it really does feel like we're just in a period of like wait and see. We do just have to sort of take a step back, watch probably the first 3-4 weeks of ESL Challenger League, and then we'll get a bit of a better idea of where things are all kind of settling after this New Year period.
Totally agree with that. Yeah, I think these kind of games for Underground, a team that missed out on, getting themselves a couple of dubs on the board last week against a more beatable opponent, they will really need to bring a much higher level to the game tonight. It's not unwinnable for them at all. You've seen some, kind of more lackluster maps from Housebets. I definitely think they were playing below what their ceiling and below what their level is last year. I don't know whether that's just due to not pracking as much or what the deal is, but this is a team that, you just look at it on paper. Oh, Falcon's going to be in the server as well instead of Brace, interestingly enough. But you just look at these players on paper and you know that if they're taking it seriously, if they're playing very well, they could be a very solid team. I agree. They're kind of more of a gatekeeper team, Oceania, and they should have an easy time with a team like Underground today. So Underground going for a 1-4. Mechanical is going to be lurking up towards top middle. The rest of the boys sitting in tunnels. Damio's in lower dark with Wombat spotting middle. Couple of shots rattling off as Mechanical makes contact, and Underground, that's a smoke and a set of armor going down as the rest of them contact into B. It's a nice entry onto Falcon, so there is potential here. Omichella's really turned up to play today.
Yeah, it's a far cry from what we saw in the opening round or two of the last match that we saw him play, but it's exactly what we wanted and what we hoped for when we picked him as the player to watch. Coops is going to get the better of Damio there in upper dark, and that more or less seals the deal. Raleigh, easy headshot onto Apocdad, and this round has kind of just fallen apart for Housebets. It's just how it goes sometimes on those pistols, particularly when you've got the USPs in hand and it's a B rush, something like that. It just becomes pretty much a lost cause if you miss your first couple of bullets, and that's more or less what it was. The Glocks reigning supreme still in CS2 in some aspects, and so here we are with a 1-0 scoreline for Underground.
Yeah, some real sharp shooting. Gonna have to be sharp tonight to be beating Housebets, that's for sure. Could clearly see there was something else that Underground had in mind, but after losing that player top middle with a smoke in hand and not really having that contingency plan or the ability to run whatever strat they had planned for that pistol, they just go for the good old 4-man into the small site, hit a couple shots, and there you go. That's an easy round for you. Housebet's going to force up into this one. Contact being made on long. Omichella forced off by the Molotov from the CTs, who have bought round 2 here. Going to secure that long control, but even all of that utility is going to be a bit of a tell to Underground that there is a bit more invested in this one than just the USPs.
Well, Damio coming across that A side as well. Very, very weak over towards B. It's the strategy for Housebets, and it seems like it might not be a bad setup. What a timing on the flash as well. Mechanical, he's going to be spotted out. It will end up being an easy 1-for-1 for Omichella. But you can see the cogs are kind of turning here for Housebets, and they're trying to make something happen in this round, and they are making something happen.
That is absolutely disgusting from Apocdad. He's even thinking about pushing through the smoke again here. Punished this time around. They won't fall for that twice, and Night Raid evening up the man disadvantage now. Underground with rifles, util, everything really that they need to win a round like this. As Damio trying to creep out onto the line, elevator side is going to tag up Coop, so 2 players are going to be one shot to the scouts. So still very winnable for Housebets. So if they do opt to go for this one, play going down from short, and Housebets are going to opt to retake middle before they can kick off this retake.
It doesn't look easy for Housebets, that's for sure. No util to work with at all. Just going to have to be some sharp shooting. Bit of noise being made here. PZ and Damio are going to be expected up short, but a good shot from the scout. No follow-up, though, from Damio. It's both the scouting players that have gone up short, and Falcon went up long with the rifle. Would have always preferred to see that rifle on short. And, maybe the extra scout player over towards long, but that's not going to be the case. And so in the end, Underground are going to win the round, but it's an expensive one.
Yeah, Housebets saving over a Galil and a Deagle there. Excellent flash stone by Riley from Gandalf. Sets up Coops for a 2k on shore. I mean, it's those couple of grenades and small pieces of utility that could really make the difference in the mid to late round, and some of the post plants like that. Well-placed flash can just straight up win you the round. Was a little bit more labored than Underground may have lacked, and already taking attack timeout here. So recognizing that the force did come through. Have got an easier anti-eco round here with a singular saved rifle, but the money has not built up yet. So it's very important for Underground to get their heads screwed on right, make sure that they get through this round nice and cleanly, and they can establish that great T-side economy that they can use to keep being competitive and front-running in this game.
Seen a lot of the freehand knives come out nowadays.
Yeah.
Was it the falchion? Is that the falchion? That's what it's called? I think freehand is the color scheme and the falchion is the actual knife. The pattern is the freehand, yeah. I have a falchion freehand, and I never saw anyone really with the falchion. Everyone didn't like that, but I see it every now and then now. I'm kind of liking it. It's a good knife, I think. But,
skin meta's coming around.
Anyway.
You were ahead of the meta, it sounds like.
It's just like, it's one of the cheaper knives, but I think it's actually kind of cool. And it's got a nice little animation on it too, so, you know. Not trying to debate anybody.
You're trying to influence the market so you can flip it. I know what you've got planned here, Jordan.
Yeah. Sell it for big money.
Underground
Quit
here.
my esports casting job.
Become a full-time skin straight up. Creeping up ramp. A lot of pistols away from the other side of this smoke. Refresh on the elevator. Smoke Tango gets one shot off, and the rest of the CT's trying to flood through the smoke off of that contact, but they're still not really getting a lot done here. It's a pretty sensible approach on the anti-eco here. It's exactly what you want to be seeing from Underground. Take that long control, play the ranges, throw a smoke to elevator, and deny the flood through from Housebets to secure themselves 4 rifles after that tack pause. They got exactly what they needed to get done.
Beautiful stuff, but now the job is going to get going. As Housebets are going to get their money together, put together that buy. PZ's got the AWP. Obviously, a lot of talk about PZ coming back into Housebets. Let's see what he can do. Has a nice spawn. So, just going to quickly cross over to the B side of mid, having a little bit of a peek. See if anyone's going to challenge him. Doesn't look like that'll be the case. There is no AWP in the hands of Underground just yet, so might not be seeing that battle over the mid doors just yet.
Just waiting for their timing to pop out of upper tunnels. Falcon here at gate. Probably the main play to keep your eye on. PC on the rotation through with the AWP. Needs to get a little bit of done, but no one has checked Falcon. That's the easiest 3k of his life, and now Underground limping into the site with only 2 players remaining.
Yeah, that said, if they can get a bomb plant down, they can still potentially cause a bit of a ruckus. Difficulty is Night Raid is the one that has the one in hand. He has to push his way forward. Omichella will help out, though, by taking space at the window, getting himself a kill. Just relieve a little bit of that pressure. Night Raid can now start to dump some of that util, clear out upper dark if he can. And the bomb plant is now being put on the table. Omichella just overstepping his bounds, though. Will give up his life, and while the bomb plant does get secured by Night Raid, he doesn't really have a snowball's chance in hell of winning that round. So Housebets do pull one back, but, you know, some inroads made by Underground. They get the bomb plant, so they should be able to buy back in here nicely and can run it back and see if they can still keep Housebets on the back foot.
Yeah, that's going to take everything out of their economy, though. With only 2 players surviving on CT side, this will be a swing round. Round number 6. AWP comes out for Night Raid, so an AWP on both sides. He's got the closest spawn to long, so we'll keep an eye on him, see if he does opt to go for that pick early on. Had a lot of slower kind of defaulty play from Underground. Couple of B-pops. It's kind of seemed like their tendencies right now. Smoke into long hut. Flashes invested over the top of long from the Ts. Can a flash out from the CTs, but they don't actually commit to holding long. Instead, feeling like the Ts have applied enough pressure to long to force them back into a short setup. So both teams actually forfeiting long, despite investing a little bit in trying to contest it. So now we look towards that mid-fight. as the T's make their way in towards lower dark. We've got a double setup on short as well, looking to contest. And you even see Damio kind of floating down towards B ramp. So it seems like the CTs might want to crunch in the mid round here.
Wouldn't be a bad time to be doing it because Underground are starting to make their way into middle on that timing, but Night Raid set up nicely to deal with Damio. And all that's really going to eventuate for Housebets is a little bit of chip damage off the nades. Falcon going to have a little bit of a crack of his own, decides to opt out for the AK, gets himself a little bit of extra util on the way through, and will scurry back over to B. But in that meanwhile, a nice timing from Omichella, again, as he tries to activate for his team, has managed to find his way into CT spawn, sitting inside that smoke. But he will be a real problem for APOC done in just a minute. Your Wombat desperately fighting. He's done well to get two. The bomb, it popped forward, and now they've got two mollies in their way. Underground are actually in trouble. Omichella trying to get anything done. Raleigh is actually the one to get the kill onto APOC Dud, but time is now of the essence here, and Underground are really fumbling the bag. That molly, I'm not sure what that was meant to be. Night Raid's going to go down, and your Wombat has just come up with an absolutely blistering round. Is Housebets for two.
Yeah, that was falling apart from Housebets. Wombat set up well by a flash, predicting that the T's would be stacked up on short after all of that mid pressure, and he just comes up huge, honestly, for Housebets. In a swing round like that, a 4K from Wombat to break the T-side economy is, you know, really does kind of change the trajectory of this game now. So Underground, despite the good start, starting to be put back in their place a little bit. Only pistols and a singular smoke invested in this round. Once again, Underground making moves towards tunnels early on.
Falcon set up nicely, and if necessary, does have the assistance of your Wombat. He's holding onto a flash, holding onto a nade. Bit of an off timing there for Falcon, and that is going to cause the push from Underground. Just getting caught with a grenade in hand. It's kind of put this round in a bit of an awkward spot, unless your Wombat can salvage USP. He's doing his best, and Night Raid just bouncing up and down, trying to get out of dodge. Can't do it. So Housebets have a numbers advantage here, but they do still have to retake that B bomb site. And we know B can be a little bit difficult. So we'll see if some sharpshooting here, maybe from Mechanical with that block, is going to be enough. Unlikely, you'd think. And that is going to be the case again, as your Wombat finds himself another 4K. Goes up to 12 and 4 for the first 6 rounds of this map. He's having a very good start to the day. Housebets are, I would say, starting to as well.
Yeah, back-to-back 4Ks. Despite a bit of a fumble from Falcon, Housebets are able to put the pieces back together pretty easily. Great supportive flashes over the top from PC to help them flood back in and retake the site. But Underground got more than they may have expected out of that round 2. Nice bomb plant. Does help them get a little bit more utility heading into round 7 here. Double AWPs out for the CT side. No AWP for Underground, so they need to be careful not to get picked in the early to mid round. Lose that man advantage. Progression smoke onto the corner of long. Trying to obscure the vision, but with the double molly and the nade invested, the CTs can be very confident that no one's made it out of long hut just yet. So I think Underground will yet again maybe have to go back towards that short control, although they seem to be hanging around in bedroom. Might indicate that they really want to just flash over the top and retake long control in the mid to late round.
I mean, I'm not sure what's the normal setup necessarily for Housebets, but it seems like your Wombat is
getting in here
all over the place. He's everywhere, man. He was on short before, he was on B. Now he's over towards A long, and finally Underground have found a way to deal with him. It's a great flash again. Underground, their flashes today do seem to be pretty on point. And this time it was an assisting one from Night Raid that finally shuts down this rampage from your Wombat. That's Falcon on the push. Gets the better of Omichella. A little bit of a wayward spray with that AK. And so not able to calibrate onto the head. Brings back to 4-on-4.
Pressure on the A side of the map. Do you get the elevator smoke? Housebets might have a little bit of a misread here, killing Omichella. They might think that he's the upper dark lurker. I like that Falcon gets active when they lose control of long. And Housebets, after there's no real pressure on the A side, decided to make their way back towards B. It's a big rotation. Underground need to speed up here.
Damio not having too many troubles there. He's got the help of Falcon and a shot in there as well from someone else. It was PZ, I think. Pretty easy hold in the end for Housebets. It's double AWP setup is obviously something that I think we're going to see quite a bit with this new iteration of Housebets as well, I would say. You've got Damio, who was kind of picking up the primary AWP role at some points, and Look, honestly, you've got no shortage of AWP options on this team. Obviously, knowing as well that Apoc didn't mind a bit of AWPing back in his day as well. So if either one of these two guys is feeling a little bit off, I'm sure there's the proclivity to grab it for him as well. So could be a pretty interesting little team on maps like Dust 2.
Underground once again waiting out that initial wave of utility. Nothing but pistols invested here, and unless someone from the CT side makes a bit of a mistake, it's going to be hard to find these opportunities. Easy running out of ammo in the AWP. Going to drop the smoke for safety, and Wombats once again in bully mode against the pistols.
Easy shots for Apoc Dud. Bit of a stat pad this round, really, for Housebets, but it's kind of felt like a lot of the gun rounds have sort of started to go in that direction as well. I mean, the scoreline being 4-3, you look at that and go, oh, it's not too bad for Underground, but this will now be 5 in a row for Housebets, and I would argue 5 pretty comfortable rounds as well. You can see that money really starting to build up. Underground are in a bit of trouble, I would say.
Yeah, picks are becoming hard to come by. For the T side, Wombats having an absolute blinder right now as we head into a pause. Such is the way of online CS. But absolutely, the lack of Underground being able to get kills, particularly on some of these eco rounds, is allowing that CT side economy to build up on the side of Housebets. And despite the fact that they've gone for this double AWP purchase, it doesn't really feel like it's slowing their CT economy down too much. So that's really where the onus goes back on Underground to start cracking in on some of these T-side gun rounds. They've had a nice read or two. You've already pointed out that the supportive utility has been pretty solid today. So, look, they just need some more of those good rounds. They're having a good time getting picks on the extremities. Middle is a little bit more of an issue, right? It feels like Housebets want to be very active on catwalk. Wombats getting aggressive in the mid-round a lot of the time. They're crunching middle. But, look, over towards Long Hut and Bedroom, into the B side as well. Hasn't been as hard for Underground to get in and find some picks. So for me, really, it's just a case of Underground finding the right timings. This is where the change up of the setup comes in from Housebets. Big presence on catwalk, push up middle, and a player in lower dark. Really playing to disrupt this round.
Now Falcon is stomping around in the middle. Surely going to be found out by Raleigh. And is Apoc Dud has also been seen and damaged, but your Wombat could be the X factor. Again, a great flash forces him away. That is at least one thing that Underground could be happy with today, is the flash work has been on point, but hopefully they'll be able to convert that into something this round, because another 4-on-5 going the way of Housebets would be quite disappointing for Underground.
Push into upper dark. Housebets looking for information and picks with the man disadvantage. They need to find some form of advantage of another kind. And in this case, it's the map control and the information. Underground shifting into a 1-4, leaving Omichella and the lurk in middle. Might be found by Wombat any second now. Underground, that flash is a tell to the CTs that they have taken long control, and you already see the shift. Housebets really trying to centralize their setup, and with the lurk cleared out of middle, they're going to feel very comfortable to try and hold A from this short setup.
Apoc Dud gets a nice flash of his own. This one from Damio. We'll set him up for one, but not just the one. He gets the information as well that Housebets going to now have to defend long. Underground working their way forward. Coops, nice shot in there. Looking for that spray transfer. Wasn't quite able to capitalize, but even still has got Underground into the site. PZ burns. Bomb planner's down, and this should be Damio just looking to back out here. Both AWPers missing a shot. So he'll get out with the AWP. Losing the guns there is not a huge concern for Housebets, but it is going to allow Underground up to 4.
This is what they needed to do. So let's start cracking in with a couple of gun rounds, taking the money out of the CT's hands. Damio just trying to hold on to the AWP. But it's a good round from Underground. They deny that aggression. Gotta say, Falcon is doing his usual kind of plays where he's just kind of sending a little bit. Can be a little bit of a wild card, and sometimes it works beautifully. Sometimes it looks like that. So Underground going to be quite happy to deny that aggression, and they played the 5-on-4 pretty damn well. Got off that successful side execute. Omichella gets cleared out of middle, but they're still able to kind of execute their game plan on a good enough time frame to get the round one. Despite Housebets staying really active in the mid round. That's what I really like from their CT defense so far. Like, their early round sending it straight up mid maybe wasn't ideal, but their mid round movements have been fantastic. Like clearing out upper dark, coming and re-clearing middle. Then they can play from short to try to deal with that long setup. The flash through the elevator smoke as well had a lot more potential than what it actually rewarded them with. Another attack timeout for Underground, which really indicates to me that they're taking this game pretty seriously. They want to be getting this dub on the board.
The connection for Night Raid as the cross comes through from Falcon. Again, that's just leaning away from that B-bomb site for the most part. There's a heavy presence on long. Lots of flashes getting layered over there for Housebets. You can see they're still coming. But Omichella's been able to at least get enough vision to calibrate onto your Wombat for a second. And that was enough to get the opener kill for Underground. Unfortunately, in the other side of the field, it's gone quite well for Housebets pretty much everywhere else. And as the dust settles, Night Raid and Mechanical are the only players alive here for Underground.
Yeah, just didn't win that long exchange. Now they're going to have to do something pretty special in this 2-on-4. Housebets pretty split up around the place. Obviously, Car is a very safe spot for PC to be AWPing from, but if someone can win an early duel on him, it really opens up the map a little bit more and will give them the potential to kind of get into a post plant. There's a progression smoke coming out over onto the dumpster, Molly onto the site. But PC playing a little bit of an off angle here. I don't think that Night Raid will find that too easy to be ready for that.
And Night Raid hoping for a mistake. Not going to be getting it. PZ will catch Mechanical, and he'll be pretty aware that there's going to be an AWP on that line, but will still pop his head back up, which does allow Night Raid to get himself one, but one is about all he's going to be able to manage as Housebets do go to 6. Job's not really done just yet, though, for Housebets. This has been, I would say, a pretty good first half, but if it ends up being 6-6, then we'll sort of forget all about that. And there's another buy-in from Underground.
Yeah, they're managing their T-side economy pretty well. They've got the max loss bonus. So the good start that they had has really made this scoreline look a little bit more digestible, and they are chipping in a few rounds here and there. Nade to cross. Good shot from Night Raid. Second AWP duel he's won against PZ in as many rounds. Underground once again forcing their way out long, putting out that Molotov behind blue and posting up on the corner. Flash goes back over the top. That sends out Coops. So Underground really trying to take a foothold in long here, but you can see once again with the man disadvantage, Housebets staying active and trying to mobilize to fight where the T's are at.
Doesn't look like it's going to be very fun for Underground, but maybe I'm wrong. Flash is coming through. All the shots are missing. Your Wombat will do his damnedest to try to clean it up. I mean, the setup was there for Housebets. They had the 3 players where they needed them, but they just didn't hit their shots. And so Underground in pole position to win this round. It's on to Falcon now solo.
Riley's taken all of that B control. So the bomb going to head over in that direction. Falcon just sticking around, expecting an A-site ending. Might even just save as it's round 12 into the next. But pretty much everyone has enough time to buy. So especially with that util blooming, yeah, he's thinking about whether he wants to go for this one or not. Underground taking no chances, smoking off lower dark and doors.
You're going to have a bit of a look, but this will be a tough one definitely for Falcon. He's really going to be relying on Underground making some serious errors.
Every gun they take away from the T's here is pretty huge, actually. But they're not going to take any. Honestly, I'm surprised he really went for that. I think damage was definitely correct, though. They had no money behind that, so every gun you take away is going to take a little bit more util away, maybe force them down onto a Galil as we head into round 12 here.
Let's see if Housebets can force themselves a 7th. Has been a bit of a back and forth half, that is for sure. PZ going to get up to some funny business into middle, but not seeing a whole lot. Once again, similar setup to what we've seen Housebets run a couple of times. Just a player watching down middle, a player down here in lower dark. It's pretty bright, though. I don't know if we should keep calling it lower dark.
Like a little orange glow.
Lights on and everything.
Hey, Pop Dud. Spotting out that long control. Wonder if he's asking for a flash there. Indeed he is. Smoke to Elevator and Molly to Car trying to deny information to Housebets, but I think PZ has slipped back onto that line, and once again, Underground going to rely on trying to go for a B pop here, but off angle from Falcon and a lot of util still on Damio here. If he places that util well, it's going to be a pretty big shutdown.
Yeah, I definitely like this setup from Housebets. Util is indeed going to get tossed in. Perfect timing on the insend. Falcon gets away with 1 and a little bit more damage as well. Damio going to be calling for the rotators, calling for the assistance, and he's going to start to get it. Shots in from Damio are good. Your Wombats now there as well. And that'll pretty much be the round over and done with. Raleigh is lurking in middle. But he's way too late to be effective, and the rest of his team is dead. So I have to imagine this is going to be a round over and done with. Bomb dropped over there on the B-bomb site. And PZ not even going to be required. That's the end of the half. 7-5 the lead for Housebets.
And find that I left my distractions behind. I will be in the meantime, I'll blindfold my pride and keep hold of my time like it's gold. Faithful color, reaching to find when I wonder how. Saying it'll all be fine. Why sit around and waste the time? Stuck in the backseat, told to drive. I'm bulletproof, don't ever lose. Put the evil in the devil and I'm let it loose. I'm an earthquake, make your bones shake. There's no question I'm the king, I always dominate. A force to be reckoned with, better remember it. Look at what I can do, walking all over you. Incredible, it's criminal. I never lose, I'm bulletproof.
Alrighty. back on into the second half. It is Housebets leading 7-5 right now. Bit of an interesting first half. It didn't really feel like either team seriously got on top. There was a bit of back and forth, but sort of very run-of-the-mill stuff. Nothing too crazy. Underground maybe slightly feeling the heat at the moment, depending on how this pistol goes. And it seems as though Housebets are going to set themselves up with at least a similar start to Underground, if not maybe the same idea. They did have that 4-1 split, but not opting to push their way out onto B, which is probably a wise call given that there are 3 players from Underground stacked over in this side of the map. Easy. First shot of the half gets the headshot onto Mechanical, and Omicella will respond in kind, so it will ultimately be that BK. Whether or not they get it is out to Apocdad and Your Wombat, and they're more than happy to grab that round now by the looks of things. Your Wombat will get that bomb plant down, and Apocdad's position a good one to hold off this rotation from Night Raid.
Oh. Great shot from Apocdad to close things out. And despite a little bit of a resurgence from Underground later on in that second half, it's Housebets to actually start this half a little better. So we head into round 14. No investment for Underground. You had the full-on purchase coming in from Housebets in round 2 previously. Oh, you do actually get the last-minute buy, and it's all MP9s, no scouts on Dust 2 CT side. It's going to be a lot of SMGs, a lot of pace behind this, and a bit of an upper dark crunch. All heard out by PZ. He wants nothing to do with that. Drops the Molotov for safety and just turtles in backyard. While the rest of Housebets take long control, they're even going to throw out an elevator smoke and just get into an A site after plant very quickly. And Underground already flooding up on the shore. They want to try and really cause a lot of chaos in this round. It just does not seem to be doing much against the rifles at these ranges.
Well, that's that's unfortunate for Underground. That has not gone well at all. And Omicella, he's not long for this world. Jumping MP9 attempt, good luck. 9-5, and the scoreline balloons out pretty drastically. Housebets definitely on top now.
Hell of a game from Wombat, 22-8, man, Jesus. Really farming up. Yeah, I don't know about that round 2 buy. That was a bit sketch. Usually expecting kind of the scouts and pistol armor. So that many MP9s on Dust 2 didn't really do them that many favors. And yeah, it's kind of a head scratcher as well, because I felt like Underground have been like pretty good with a lot of their decision making, and some of the util's been great. But that was one of those kind of rounds where you like feel like you should see a little bit of inexperience shown.
Well, not much in this round for Underground, unfortunately. And indeed, that will be the case. PZ, though, will be very happy. A couple of kills on the MP7. Not a gun you see all that often, but we love a bit of MP7. Brings back good memories. Nice couple of kills there as well from the MAC-10 of Falcon. 10 now for Housebets.
Nice little B execute from them. Anti-eco, and look, they've got another B spawn and a couple of SMGs. One of them in the hands of PZ with one at the front spawns here, so wouldn't have been surprised to see another B pop straight away on the bonus, but actually they're going to throw the SMGs away and opt to play a bit more of a straight up gun round. Orb spotted out. Little totem pole boost on Suicide, trying to catch one on the cross. Underground secure control of long with the Molotov, but don't actually take any steps in there as the smoke goes out onto the long corner. Night Raid on this midline. Oh, spots out a pixel that's right for the picking. And that's PZ that goes down early on.
Housebets, though, are responding pretty nicely to that information. They know that there's a couple of players dedicated up short. Your Wombat, he wanted to try and just tuck in there, and I thought that the faster pace maybe on long was going to be the reply from Housebets, but now having lost Your Wombat raises a couple of extra concerns. So just going to try and walk their way up here onto A and more or less just contact as they walk their way up. You sort of have Falcon out on short as well, but nothing really coming together for Housebets. That round has just fallen apart.
Extra investment, giving a lot more firepower to the side of Housebets, but didn't really do them too many favors. So this will be the round where they kind of bankrupt themselves. And on the other side of things, Underground have done a great job stabilizing their economy. Don't even think they lost a gun last round. So this could be a chance for them to really even up the scoreline if they can reset the T-side economy early on here. 1900 loss bonus for Housebets. Once again, PZ can't find a pick on the cross early on. Nightbrain's been winning that ult duel pretty regularly. Hasn't really been finding many other picks, but he's had an easier time picking PZ. No damage done early on in the round, and we've had a DC from Mechanical, so I think both teams have agreed to a round reset here. So probably have a bit of a tech pause before we get started again.
At some point. Do you know, I don't know if you're aware of this, but there used to be a program, not for CS, but another title that I used to work on. There was a situation where an admin basically wasn't there to pause the game when the game needed to be paused. So somebody wrote a program that would message, like basically when there was a message in the chat in the server, which was obviously a player calling for a pause or something, the person's headphones would say chat, 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 like over and over and over until something was clicked or whatever. So I've never seen that anywhere else, but I feel like that's a pretty good idea. You ever heard that story?
I've not. Is this someone that I know?
The person who made the program would be someone that you know. I think the admin who was not present to call the pause was not somebody that you knew.
That sounds like a very bright person probably made that program. So I have a feeling I know who that is. The admin, yeah. Oh, and the lazy admin. Oh, a fair few lazy admins in my time, for sure.
Yeah, plenty of them.
Yeah.
I don't really think admins do much work, actually. They just kind of sit there.
Jesus. To be fair, neither do casters.
It's true. I don't know if is Wander on tonight. I think Wander might be on tonight. He's pretty lazy.
I mean, I'm not even going to lie, dude.
Chat?
On this ECL game, sitting in a little Airbnb, I'm like on the bed right now. You know? Like I'm just laying down, watching the game.
Until the dreaded chat.
Yeah.
Chat starts coming through your
It's
headset.
a vibe, man. It's a good vibe. We're having a good time.
Still not as bad as that time that we had an observer for an overnight show. And he fell asleep.
I do remember. My microphone having a time now.
They've got that progression smoke up on A, but they're not going to use it just yet. Wisely. Omicella waiting for them on the other side if they do push through the CT smoke. But your Wombat more than happy to just take it slow here. I don't think he's going to be expecting Omicella this close at all, but he will be helped out quite nicely by Falcon, who wins himself a couple of nice duels. There's one on the Night Raid as well. And that is going to be the A site taken in the control of Housebets. What? Yeah. That is a very lackadaisical post plant from Housebets, isn't it? It should have never played out that easily. But sometimes you get given a bit of a gimme. Underground are going to want to take that and run with it. They don't want to have another close loss on Dust 2 in the same way that they did last week to Vantage. So perhaps some of those lessons, hopefully having now been learned, are going to allow them to walk away with the win still here on this map. See. Rush fast play from Housebets.
Yeah.
And they're going to go straight through all that util. M4 out for Coops. It is just pistols here for Housebets, so you can kind of understand the thinking. 2 up, aka Falcon, getting himself one. He's had a good couple of rounds here. Damio in for another one. Deagle. APOC does count an M4. It's all kind of falling apart at the seams for Underground. Bomb plant not yet secured. That Molotov's gone off the map as well. So APOC Dud's going to be given some time to work here with this M4, and if he can find another kill, this one onto Night Raid actually should be doable. Oh, definitely doable now that he's got the info. But Bomb still on B, and Raleigh is on a bit of a flank. He's on a bit of a mission somewhere, which is, I think, going to confuse APOC Dud, because he would definitely be expecting this CT to still be in this site.
I think he probably thinks the CT's got control of the bomb, which now that he does, it's really just a game of timing. APOC Dud maybe expecting a wrap back around, but if I'm APOC Dud, I've got an increasing suspicion that the CT was on the site the whole time, which wasn't the case, but is the case now. Waiting for a mistake of the CT maybe moving through elevator or wrapping back through lower dark. But you for sure should know. Like, the first thing he should check is car here.
He's going to have a bit of a look on his way in. Timing not looking great for Raleigh here. APOC Dud has been allowed out onto site, but he has not checked car. Now he has, and he can't win the duel. Oh, needed a clean start to that fight, I think, APOC Dud, and he didn't quite manage to land his first couple of shots. Didn't have any armor. Aim punch might have come into it. Either way, Underground just barely scraped through that round.
Took a lot of damage winning it. Housebets now have a chance to go for that reset on the CT economy. Only 1,400 loss bonus. It's going to be crippling for Raleigh and Night Raid in particular. Good totem pole boost pays off for Housebets. PZ wins that AWP duel onto Night Raid, and it's immediately upper dark push coming through in the Mantis advantage for Underground, trying to make a little bit of a play. Already APOC Dud here, ready to receive. They were not ready for Wombat, hiding behind the double stack on the right side. They thought that that was the upper dark defaulter coming out from the left. They're caught completely off guard. So Underground just looking to try to hold on to these 2 rifles if they can even do that. And Housebets still really haven't moved out of this default. So the hunt is definitely on at this point.
Well, Falcon. The hunt, and he is finding what he's looking for. But apparently the prey bites back. They do know now where Raleigh is, but doesn't look like Housebets are going to overcommit. Not going to put any more guns into this chase. They don't have a whole lot of money themselves, so thinking about the long game. Fair enough. Creeping onto this line might not quite be the play. So in the end, the M4 is going to go down anyway.
Money's broken for Underground. This should just be the game on a silver platter for Housebets. Night Raid's double eco. Some of the other boys in a bit of a better financial position. I think if I'm the CTs, it might be an AWP drop from Coop's next round and send an MP9 his way, something like that. Housebets, they've done a really good job changing. Done a really good job changing up their approach on the anti-eco. Like, they've had a B execute previously. This time going out long. Just switching it up so they don't run into stacks.
Well, they've also got the insurance policy of Falcon watching for the push down middle, but he cops a couple of nice shots. So he's going to give up his AK. And it hasn't actually necessarily been the information for Housebets to say we want to definitely send it at A. Eventually, they're starting to come around to that as a possibility now that APOC Dud has been able to get done what he has, which is essentially walking up onto the side itself. It's been a pretty good game for the riflers of Housebets here. APOC Dud 16 and 10, the Wombat 23 and 12. And even Falcons had a couple of nice rounds there at 14. So it's funny that it should be the rifles that are doing the most of the work on Dust 2, but that has at least been the case today for Housebets. They're going to get themselves another round, and it'll be Underground essentially playing with one life only from here on out.
Got to save this AK if you're Night Raid for sure. Don't have the money to replace it. Like I said, he can be dropped over an AWP from one of the other boys and probably send a rifle his way. Would be a much better buy to fight for the game with for Underground. On the side of Housebets, look, things did get dicey for a little bit, but they've not only got a fair few map points now, but also a little bit of money behind them. Should only need to take one eco if they start losing rounds. See what Underground come up with. 1-4 for Housebets, straight into upper dark. Pressure on middle from Falcon, denying that push into lower dark. Looking like the B-pop was the intention for Housebets, but with the early smoke coming in from Coops, it's kind of disrupted their plans a little bit. They're going to go towards lower dark. Night Raid might be on the... No, he's on the long line. They've actually got the double rifle on short this time.
Getting his toes tickled a little by the molly. It's going to give Housebets a little bit of space as they start to have a look towards A. That has not gone well. We've fairly consistently seen that molly in particular fizzle. It happened earlier on today as well, so not sure what's going on with that, but seen it a couple times. Coop's burning, but smoked off eventually. It's not going to save his life though, because PZ's there waiting for him. But Housebets are losing players here and there, and only now starting to make their inroads in towards A. PZ also working out onto B. This is a very strange round from Housebets. I don't know how this is going to go right, because the bomb is still over towards A, so your Wombat somehow has to make a cross to B.
Raleigh in lower dark. There are so many snags to trip up on here. 18 seconds on the clock. I think this is the push that will probably win the round on each other. Yeah, up towards top mid. He's going upper dark. These footsteps should be heard by Raleigh. He's just going to turn around and deny that bomb. Easy as you like.
Did he even have time?
No, I don't think so, actually. You're right.
He had 9 seconds. 9 seconds on the clock when he died.
Yeah. I don't think... I think it was even less than that. Like, too much indecision from Housebets there. I mean, those are the kind of rounds that are going to get them in a lot more trouble against some better teams. I mean, they even got them in a lot of trouble this against these guys. Like, they did lose the round, but won't even be able... Like, you won't be able to get the same heroics against a Rooster or a Talon in that kind of round.
You do have to remember, no brace tonight. That's potentially a bit of a spanner in the works for Housebets. You know, not having your in-game leader around can be a big deal, but... Either way, you'd still think that they should be closing out a couple of the rounds that they haven't, but maybe just not having that mid-round presence that they need to make the decisions when they need the decisions to be made, which honestly, I would find a far-fetched thing to say, actually, looking at the lineup that they've got. I think there's definitely a lot of experience there, and even calling experience with the likes of your Wombat and Apoc Dud in various teams. So, I don't know. But either way, just trying to, make an excuse. I'm a nice guy like that.
Well, Underground slowly but surely isolating these opening picks and converting the rounds. I like the moves that they're making. Clearing out lower dark and middle. Some info plays in the mid round. Process of elimination and the elevator smoke is going to make it quite obvious that Housebets is going for some kind of play on long, and you already see the rotations. Big mobilization from the CTs to try to contest that progression smoke. Try to stop them getting into the site. Blowing open the smoke as well. A little bit of pressure over on the other side of the map on the wing from Damio, trying to keep the rotations honest, and it has pulled Mechanical back across as another elevator smoke comes in and Housebets look to make the cross.
Falcon going to get himself a bit of a freebie there. Actually, it'll be stolen away by PZ's Molotov, but regardless, it's not just the kill that will be the freebie by the looks of things, it's the round as well. Underground just not really cutting the mustard in this one. Oops, and Omicella have to do something pretty special. Admittedly, Housebets have given Underground a couple of chances to do things such as this one, but a 2v4 at this stage of the game, it does seem pretty unlikely. Going to have to go for it. Omicella's going to get himself one. Coops' position now is known, and he's going to be good for one, but no more than that. So 13-9 will be the scoreline in the first map of the evening, and it's a pretty solid win for Housebets, I guess it's fair to say, but could have definitely been cleaner, so still got some things to work through.
For sure. But Underground showing a lot of potential there. Like, there was a little inconsistency, but for the most part, you had some good utility from them, some good team play, some good macro on Dust 2. A lot of promise, a lot of potential there. But Housebets showing their experience and a little bit of better individual firepower, particularly for Wombat. He had a hell of a map on that game of Dust 2. Was a pretty huge difference maker for Housebets to be cleaning that one up. So many impact rounds, so many multi-frags. So, look, about the result that you'd expect. I think if Housebets are looking to be kind of world beaters coming into this year and pick things up from last year, then they'll probably need to play a little bit better than that. But these might be kind of their warm-up games into the year here in ECL, to be fair.
All right, well, that's game one done and dusted. We've got another one here for you between Housebets and Underground. First, however, we are going to head to a break, so don't go too far away. Our second game coming up right after this.
I'm bulletproof, don't ever lose. Put the evil in the devil, let him let it loose. I'm an earthquake, make your bones shake. There's no question I'm the king, I always dominate. A force to be reckoned with, better remember it. Look at what I can do, walking all over you. Incredible, it's criminal. I never lose, I'm bulletproof. You feel like something new. You feel like something. You feel like something new. You feel like something. Don't just stop it. Doing what you do. When I lay back, holding on to you. Ooh, ooh, feel like something new. Yeah. Got my senses here on overload. All my body is for you to hold. Ooh, ooh, feel like something new. Yeah. And I never thought that you got me wanting. Never thought that that I'd be saying you feel more like a dream. Yeah. You feel like something new. You feel like something. You feel like something new. You feel like something. I feel like I'm in another galaxy. Take my time in your eternity. Ooh, ooh, feel like something new. Yeah. And I never thought that I got me wanting. Never thought that that I'd be saying you feel more like a dream. Yeah. Feel like something. 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 Feel like something.
I pack my suitcase, headed out the door. I keep my shoes laced. 2,000 miles away from home. A couple dollars in my pocket, never stopped the boy before. I load my bags and hit the road.
Miles past, turning back, found my track, face the facts, she a cold one. Never gonna settle for none. Stay up every night till I won. Don't want a slow rise now. I'm confident opulence isn't a long ride out. When I look back now, I'm astounded. A quiet boy from old age, but always felt the world was a stage, yeah. I celebrate one last late night, my whole life, they stay.
I pack my suitcase, headed out the door. I keep my shoes laced. 2,000 miles away from home. A couple dollars in my pocket, never stopped the boy before. I load my bags and hit the road.
I'm headed to LA.
Couple thousand miles, throw it on it.
Think you've seen it all? With Faceit Watch's Point of View Selector, you can experience the game from any pro's perspective. Use the multi-view feature and customize the stream with up to 4 angles. Control what points you see while earning rewards. Drops are activated and lucky winners will receive Faceit points. And if you ever miss a match, VODs are now available. Get instant access to demos with multiple POVs and commentary. Watch it, control it, face it.
All right, we're back. It's time for some more house bets and Underground Map 2, Game 2, whatever you want to call it, coming up in just a minute. Elfishguy and Pilsky here with you this evening. And first game, I don't know, what do you make of that one, Pilly? Because to me, that was a bit of this, bit of that. It didn't really feel like it was much of anything, quite frankly. It kind of just was, house bets came in to play. They're a little bit better than Vantage, but there wasn't really anything too crazy going on.
Yeah, I think that the main kind of interesting thing is Wombat was kind of farming, man. Like the amount of 3Ks and 4Ks that guy was putting together was pretty good. I think as well, I was impressed with Underground structure for the most part, even if it was a little bit inconsistent, and some of their supportive util was pretty nice. It did feel like there was a couple of rounds where they were outplaying house bets a little bit, or finding some really nice timings, or having some good reads. So that means that the calling structure and the prep on the side of Underground is pretty solid, which for teams of this level is usually not the case. So that's promising, but still not able to get the dub, unfortunately. And I agree, it is just a little bit because I think the individual players are across the board a little bit better on house bets, more experienced, and probably a little bit of a high level of skill as well. So I think a 13-9 result is probably what would be about expected. And look, as we go on to Nuke, we'll see what we're going to get out of it. For Underground, who went down 0-2 against a more beatable team last week, if they go 0-2 against Housebets here, which would be the expectation, it's not a great start to Season 49 of ECL. So let's see if they can, peak a little bit, maybe play to, their highest level and try to get themselves a map win here.
Yeah, definitely. I don't think that this is an unwinnable one for Underground. I mean, I look at the players there and I think, in particular, there's a couple of guys that could potentially take a game away. I don't really feel like Night Ray has particularly activated so far this season. We watched, obviously, now this is 3 maps from Underground. I don't know that Nuke is necessarily going to be the map where I'm expecting him with the AWP to be able to just run away with things, but he's someone that I'd probably like to see a little bit of a higher level coming out from. But either way, get into the game here and see how things go. It is Housebets to kick things off on that T side, and already running out with a fair bit of util in hand.
Indeed. So looking like an outside take, full wall of smokes across outside as Housebets make their way down there. Damio cleaned out of lobby side there. So the lurk are going to be taken out of the equation early on, and a man advantage going the way of the CTs, and they can hear all of these footsteps into lowers.
I don't know how much that's going to help them. Obviously, they're going to have to hit some shots. Omichella goes down pretty quick, smart, but Night Raid was being a little bit cheeky. He's run out of bullets, so he'll also fall. However, damage done. Housebets still down a member. Defense has been good enough. Your Wombat, though, was a danger man on Dust 2, and he will be here on Nuke as well. Nice and clean. 4K again. He is the master of the 4Ks tonight. I don't know if you know this guy, Pilsky. His name's Techno 4K. I think Your Wombat could take a leaf out of his book and he could become Your Wombat 4K. What do you think of that?
Sounds like a terrible name, but look, it's true. It is kind of true. I don't know what Wombat's had to eat today. Man is absolutely farming. Usually he's kind of a player that would be a little bit more on the supportive side traditionally, but even in the last iteration of Housebets, when he decided to come back and play some CS again, he was playing pretty well. Outside stack here with the wall of smokes again. Underground trying to play in front of it. Nice flash over the top. Gets a lot of value. That's a lot of kills going the way of the CT side. Great damage on the CT economy and a chance for Mechanical. He could swindle around these smokes and find a good timing with the AK. He could have made something happen, but he just couldn't.
Where's the AK? They can't find the AK. There was an AK, right? Or
Yeah. Mechanical had it in his hands. Yeah.
That's what I thought, yeah. They couldn't find it. It must have dropped into the smoke. So, either way, it's going to be a couple of Galils that will go through there for Housebets. Pretty successful anti-eco though, if you're underground.
I mean, that's just
Or eco, as
another
it were, for them.
example of one of these rounds where it's like they have seem to get pretty good reads and good timings and good supportive utility. Like some of the plays that you're seeing from underground, you probably expect from a higher level team, really, inside Oceania. So it's always promising to see stuff like that.
Easy, gonna go have a little bit of a look with the AWP. Night Raid has opted to force into one himself. He's got glass cannon. He's over towards ramp, so he might not actually come into play this round. Which, if you're underground, probably hoping it's going to be the case. Just get this one done nice and easy with the M4s and the MP9s. That would actually be best case scenario. And you upgrade those MP9s into AKs. Or Galils.
This time without the wall of smoke on outside, there was not too many tells that it is actually a creep into lower, and there's been a fair bit of pressure on towards Annex and Lobby from both Damio and Apoc Dud. So you see underground still quite hard committed to holding the upper side of the map, but as they take longer and longer to kind of clear out this lurk or to deal with any pressure on the upper side of the map, they're losing more and more control of lowers, and that is a big problem for the CT side, because retaking this lower site when you don't have any space or any pressure and there's an active lurk in play is a bit of a nightmare.
Housebets definitely taking their time about getting onto that B site, though. Have allowed a real rotation to come through here from underground. Only now is the bomb plant going down. Your Wombat's going to have to deal with this decon control on his own. There's a flank coming through, but it's way too late. Damio is just not there. This is on the PZ now. There's a tap on that bomb. He gets two somehow. But Damio is going to be the key difference maker here for Housebets. He'll open the doors, go for the spray. It's a bit of a wild one. He misses it. I don't know how Housebets have found a way to lose that round, but they have.
I just don't think that they knew how advantageous the position they found themselves in was. Like, underground was so hard committed to holding that upper side, but I agree with you, Housebets taking a good 20 to 30 seconds longer to get themselves into a lowers after plant. And all of that time burnt just puts them in a much worse position than they really should have been in. So, unfortunate missed opportunity for Housebets to go off to a 3-0 start. And it's going to do a number on their economy. They might do an uppers pop with the Tech 9s here, or a ramp rush, actually.
Tech 9 going to be the one to do the damage. It's actually the Galil. Apoc Dud has got Housebets and entry into B. There is going to be a fast rotation down that vent. But Housebets are not going to overcommit to a plant just yet. They're looking to clear out some more space. Smoke into door. And Apoc Dud now going to set that plant on the floor. But this setup, not a bad one from Housebets. There's a flash into that smoke. Mechanical, though, he can't make any use of it. There's just smokes everywhere. And another flash comes through, but your Wombat able to avoid that nicely. Apoc Dud getting a lot of work done with the Galil in this round as well. Night Raid and Raleigh just have to save. That's going far better for Housebets, and maybe they take a look at that and say, you know what, if we just play a little bit quicker, we might actually win some more rounds.
Yeah, I mean, just sending it straight through ramp room. It was kind of the state of their buy that informs that decision. They're a bit more pigeonholed into the fact that they have to do something in the early to mid round when they don't have the rifles or the utility to play a bit more of a drawn out affair against the CTs. But again, agree with you. The pace change from Housebets works out beautifully for them. See how Underground's going to respond here, saving only the 2 rifles. Looks like they do opt to buy around them. A1S dropped on over to Omicella. So we've got 5-7, maybe 2 Famas in the mix. So decent looking buy, could definitely get work done. Issue really being that Housebets is not too resettable in a round like this. They've got a pretty good economy built up for themselves after that success in the last round. A lot of util pressure on uppers here. Housebets waiting out the mollies, might go for an uppers timing with the flashes. But not feeling comfortable enough to actually pull the trigger. And in the meanwhile, it's actually the radio aggression from the CT side of things that dislodges things. The bomb dropped in the open, smoke for safety, really disrupting this one for Housebets.
Oh, maybe not so much. Samio's been able to get that refrag onto Coops, and we're back to a 3-on-3 now. So, decent start from Underground, but Coops just wasn't able to get back out to safety in time. He ends up losing his life. Mechanical still holding on to only a 5-7. Situation has been somewhat stabilized by Housebets. They've also got some map control, taking ramp room.
Bomb really hasn't moved an inch. Falcon applying more util pressure to uppers, seeing if he can keep the CTs interested and maybe even go for a pick or slip down vents while the rest of Housebets are trying to make their way down Megaton. Not fully decided on what they want to be doing yet. That's only a 1-for-1, but they know at least where one of these CTs is. Housebets just can't make up their mind where they want to finish. Finally making it down into lower, but there's already a CT down vent.
Yeah, I wonder if this is going to cost them. PZ has got that bomb. There is a smoke for him to plan in. Damio's going to be coming of a creep down the stairs from control room, and he should get both here, will. So it worked out in the end for Housebets, but yeah, I mean, it was something that we identified on Dust 2. That is now kind of cropping up a little bit on Nuke as well. Very, very slow in these mid-rounds, Housebets, and in some cases that is costing them. Not the case there in that last round, definitely, but something to keep in mind.
I mean, Brace has been their caller for the longest time, so despite the fact that you do have plenty of people who have experience calling or being more supportive elements on some of these teams, without their usual IG, I agree with you. They look a little bit lost in some of these mid-rounds, having a tough time finding the right reads sometimes. And again, it looks like these ecos are giving them some trouble.
Yep. He popped up down early. He was playing top of silo, so it must have been some nice shots in there from Night Raid. He should have seen quite a bit of info, and I imagine that's why Housebets are making this push over to ramp room once again. You spot 4 or 5 players on outer, you think, okay, well, we'll just go take the other side of the map then. And they do. But in the meanwhile, Underground being quite active. They are going to run into Damio. Ends up being, again, a 1-for-1, which is really not too bad as far as Underground is concerned. And at this point, Housebets, they need to be getting that bomb down as quickly as they can. Luckily, it may not really come down to that. PZ's just locking it in, getting those 2 kills and locking in the ramp control. But, you know, your Wombat goes down to the mechanical. If he gets one more down there on B, it could be scary. Luckily for Housebets, that doesn't seem like it's going to end up being the case. Housebets actually still have yet to get the bomb plant down, but finally Falcon's going to be able to do it.
It's stuck behind the smoke here. Aim punch going to be a very difficult factor to deal with. But if Mechanical's able to get some nice movement going, preempt some of these positions, he could have had a chance. Unfortunately, the shadow advantage is pretty huge for PZ there. And once you land that first bullet against the unarmored CT, it's kind of Joe from there. 2 rifles brought over for Housebets, so once again, significant damage from the eco round for Underground. They continue to put pressure on Housebets, but they need to actually get themselves into this game now. Like, they need to take advantage of that economy pressure, win 2 or 3 CT gun rounds in a row, and all of a sudden this will be a lot closer of a game.
It's fair and valid, but right now, not a super close game, that's for sure, and that will not help. Smoke's going to come up on a nice timing here for your Wombat to just continue on forward. Actually get pegged through the smoke, but then again, there's always a trade available, and Housebets keep the numbers advantage and also start to barrel their way down to B.
Yeah, 4 on 3. These kind of rounds on Nuke are all about the reads, individual timings, rotations. Coops has got to be the man to do the heavy lifting here outside of windows. Pressure being applied by Housebets. Apok Dod's more than ready for it. Next up to the task is Omicella, but he's given absolutely nothing to work with. So utility neutralizes his position. And Housebets will get themselves into a pretty safe afterplant now.
I don't imagine Underground are really going to be having a good time of things at the moment. 1 and 6. Trying to hold on to these guns and being unable to do so. As you can see, Damio's definitely having a look. He's not going to be finding Omicella where he is right now. Falcon, however, might be in with a bit of a chance. Depends largely on Omicella's timing here, and he's at least going to survive with that AK in hand. Unless PZ gets there. He's keen for it. Nice little positional change up on Michela though. Bomb, yeah, just going to be a bit too much. At least he got some damage done on his way out, but ultimately not what Underground would have wanted, as they're now down 1-6.
Yeah,
again, they don't really have a bite going into this one.
Continue just keeping the pressure on this T side, running away with the game. Unless they slip up against the pistols, which have been pretty deadly for Underground here, then this is looking like a pretty safe game of Nuke for Housebets, and it's a map that they're very comfortable on. All of these players are very familiar with it. And it's definitely the kind of map you can outplay a lower level team on, which is kind of what it feels like is happening right now. Here's the lobby crunch coming in through radio as well as Hut, and look, it does once again find a little bit of impact, but good reactions from Housebets. They're able to clean it up, deal with that 5-7 armor, and despite losing a couple of rifles, they're just going to continue trotting along on this T side.
Yeah, this is starting to look like a bit of a foregone conclusion. 7-1. Housebets not opting to change too much up. Going to go with the 5 rifles once again. So let's see what the approach is going to be this round. Night Raid again looking toward Outer with his orb, but won't have much of an impact on this round because Housebets are set up at lobby. This is looking like an A-take so far. Creeping a player or two into Hut. Smoke for Annex. Molly's over the top as well. Mechanical forced off the silo, and 2 clean entries from Housebets. There is nothing you're going to be able to do about that if you are Underground.
Yeah, Housebets just continuing to play with more and more confidence. This is kind of the level that we expect of a roster like this in a game against Underground. Coops is going to secure an exit with the AWP, but that's about all that there is to write home about for Underground. Nothing else particularly going right for them. Really want to hunt down this AWP. Coops is getting his exit frags as much as possible, but they just keep scaling at him with more and more utility, making life difficult for him until he gets a couple of shots and they'll take the AWP out of his hand. So only Omichella to hold on to the rifle heading into round number 10. Will that even be enough for Underground to really buy into this one? Really wouldn't be surprised to just see pistols and armor or SMGs and armor around the singular rifle, but they're happy to buy. I think the main point of that being that Omichella can drop an AWP over to Night Raid. That might have been a bit of a difference maker for them. MP9s and armor come out as well from the rest of the boys, which is pretty serviceable in a lot of positions on you. It's going to more so limit you towards outside and things like that.
Alright, well, Housebets once again on their way through Outer pretty quickly. Underground answering that by sending Omichella down lower alongside Night Raid. They might not be there in time to push so fast from Housebets, but luckily Night Raid is doing some things. He's got himself the chance for 2. Even a third there was on offer. Didn't land that shot, but Omichella's position unknown. Your Wombat's not spotted him. That could well lose the round for Housebets, that's for sure, but re-aggression into lobby could still be punished. Damio waiting for it. He gets 2 here. There's still a lot on offer, but Wayward Spray start things off. Mechanical, good for the initial peak, and Raleigh will clean it up. A lot of damage done by the MP9s. So it's just APOC dud, and it looks like the round will be secure on Underground's behalf.
I don't know. Young Thompson. Definitely a clutchable round for him.
I don't know if it's young Thompson anymore.
How old is he? Let's find out.
Mid-late 20s, I reckon. 25? Mid-20s?
Yeah, I'd say
Age on
mid-20s.
TV says.
Hey, this is Counter-Strike, you know? That's somewhat young.
Alright. I don't know, man.
25. He's only 25.
I reckon 25-year-old Pilsky would have won that. Pilly, he would have been called.
Let me think about that. I don't think so, actually. With an AWP, I think that's like a job for 17-year-old me. So I was actually AWPing.
Well, it's not a big concern for Housebets either way. 2 to 8, whatever. Got plenty of money. We'll buy back into it. Keep battering down the door and see if we can force it up to double digits in the first half. Money not too bad for Underground. If they do lose this round, they'll still be able to fight for the next, but Housebets are not going to slow things down at all. Once again, fast through outer. Bomb to go down secret in the hands of Falcon.
Yeah, just running that 1-4. Damio left behind in lobby. They'll cross the secret with the cover of the smokes. Already double rotation from Underground. Crossfire between Raleigh and Coops. Damio's been legged, so he's going to have to play a little more passive on lobby side. There's some entries down lower. Very nice trades for the T's. They take a lot of damage making it down there, though.
Alright, Raid will be smoked off. Now Falcon going to start to artillery strike him with the grenade. Oh, he's going to go straight through the smoke. It's an easy kill in the end, which is fantastic considering Falcon's on 12 HP. He wouldn't have wanted a proper pitched battle, but he's given Housebets a real advantage in this round. And now all they have to do is wait. While Underground are, able to afford something into the next, they're going to be seriously thinking about whether or not this is going to be worth it. Definitely won't be taking an AK into the next round if they opt to go for this. Maybe the AWP. An enticing prize as well. So it looked like they were going to give that round over to Housebets. Omichella had a bit of a crack, but all's well that ends well for Housebets, and that's even better. What a shot from Apoc Dud. 9 and 2. He'll recover the AWP, and Housebets definitely got Underground on the ropes.
Yeah, for sure. Get a pause before round number 12, I suppose. Iron out some kind of tech issue. Underground with enough money to be able to put at least an AWP together, if not a double AWP if they wanted on Nuke. I think the only rounds that they've really had any success was with the, mid-round timings usually. On the rifles. But outside of that, it's been a pretty one-sided game for Housebets. I mean, Nuke is a map that's been in their wheelhouse for the longest time, so I don't think it's particularly surprising. This best-of-one format can get these underdog teams onto maps that they're a little bit more comfortable on. They don't have to play the whole veto process or go throughout the whole map pool, but I don't know if Nuke was it for Underground tonight. Dust 2 looked promising. Looked like they had the head screwed on nicely. But Nuke has not been a good one for him.
Yeah, I mean, definitely getting the idea, obviously, that Dust 2 is probably pretty up there in the pool for Underground, or, at least somewhere within the pool. But I'd have to agree that Nuke is maybe not quite their map. I mean, they are on CT side, and Housebets have always been a team that have not necessarily minded going towards Nuke, so could be an element of that involved as well, but see what they can do when they do get onto T side. Hopefully they'll give themselves at least a third round here to play with. A third round and a pistol, and it's definitely not over, but right now it's looking pretty grim.
See if they can scrape a third round together here. PC blowing open the door. Looking for an opening pick. Wombat going down on outside, and this is where Underground, they're starting to press. Great flash up over the top, and it's even better awareness for Housebets, avoiding that one nicely. They have found PC a door, though, who really looks like he tried to force his way out there. Punished quite heavily for that. So Underground need to convert this 4-on-3. But on Nuke, CT side, even with a man advantage, these can be tricky rounds to get put together.
Oh, that's awkward. Dud going to start to waltz his way out, and Damio's going to get the entry through Hut as well. All of a sudden, Coops, he was feeling pretty comfortable up there on top of heaven, but not so much anymore. Molly, it will fizzle. There's been a few of them tonight. So that does give him a little bit more room to work with here. It's tough for Apocdad to get that plant down, but luckily he's got the coverage of Damio and Falcon, and that'll be that. 10-2, a decisive first half from Housebets.
Can't let them pass. Yeah, well, I was putting time in, you was pulled up wildin'. You always had shit to say, now when I see you, it's silence. Thought I have a Grammy by 25. Commas after commas next to dollar sign, yeah. To remind myself why I'm living this life. Look at all the late nights, it'll all come in due time, yeah.
Made for the fight, for the pain and the climb. Tied to the life I chose. Stay through the night, another day, not a dime. Race against time. I couldn't just lay by and wonder what I could have made mine. I'm closing on the moment, no one's gonna hold me down.
I pack my suitcase, headed out the door. I keep my shoes laced. 2,000 miles away from home. A couple dollars in my pocket, never stopped the boy before. I load my bags and hit the road.
Headed on my way, I'm headed on my way to headed on my way.
Okay, things not looking very good for Underground at the moment. Scoreline 10-2. Coming back from this one, Pilski. Piss around important, definitely, but rallying the troops might be just as important, and I don't know how easy of a task that is going to be.
Omichello looking for a pick on outside. Underground waiting inside of lobby, feeling out whether there's going to be any kind of CT aggression. Housebets already making some moves down into lower. We do have at least one player inside ramp room. Great pick on outside from Omichello. He kicked off Dust 2 with a bang on the Peak 250 armor, and he's been good for it again.
It's going to prompt some movement from Housebets, and that is exactly what Underground is hoping for. Coops is set up. Night Raid is set up. Mechanical set up. They're all waiting for a push. They're going to get it, but Falcon does get the better of Coops on that engagement. Now your Wombat also finding Night Raid. Starting to fall apart a little bit for Underground. Falcon, though, under pressure here, landing another shot. And he doesn't even want to get out. He just wants to keep fighting. He knows he's got the backup. Your Wombat has dropped. That P250 in the hands of Omichello is paying off. Now it's Damio's turn, and we'll have a little bit of a whiff that allows Underground down the vent. So Falcon comes into play once again.
So much util here. Full belt of it on Mechanical, who will stick the plant. Down to 3 HP. Omicella wrapping back around. He might need to ace for them to win here.
Falcon gets himself another one. So indeed, up to 3. Omicella no longer. Mechanical should be an easy one, but he's hit the headshot onto Falcon. Time a factor. Apocdad needs to defuse. He's mollied himself off. Is there a chance here for Apocdad with this defuse? Surely not. He gets the kill. Oh, has he got time here? It doesn't look like it. There's no defuse kit available.
Oh, Jordan, did you see that? They both tried to open the door. Both CTs tried to open the door at the same time and then couldn't get it open. Oh,
Door stuck.
Door was stuck, indeed. And Underground's going to win themselves a round off of door stuck and Omicella on the P250 again. So look, that's step 1. Complete. Falcon's going to drop PZ a A1S though. So if they're not ready for this on some certain angles, especially if this is like, yeah, this might be a run boost straight up onto the, oh no, it's not. He's going to go garage. I thought they might run boost up on top of warehouse and he tries to take some duels. How's the util coverage on outside here? Oh no, he's already lost it. What a shot from Night Raid.
Yeah, shots connecting there.
Oh,
And
that
well,
nade.
nade also does some nice juicy damage. I mean, if that opening kill had gone the way of Housebets and they then hit that grenade, you think actually they're in a great spot for this round. But now, probably still a little Underground favored. Timing here though from Falcons, not a bad one. Apocdad also able to cross, so Night Raid surely a dead man. It's an easy one with the Deagle. So we are back to even numbers, 3 on 3. But B-side being taken by Underground and Plant going down reasonably quickly, I want to say.
Took a while. Trying to get that nice open plant, but the CTs are already applying pressure. That's not a great timing for Damio, though. Now Megaton belonging to the Ts. And they can play that crossfire off of Raleigh. Housebets are not even going to go for this. Yeah, just keeping their hands on the rifles for the next round. Which, with a couple of those pistols dropped over, could still be another dangerous round for Underground to deal with.
Terrorists win.
A little smattering of an investment again from your Wombat, Damio, and PZ. They want to just give themselves something in this round if Falcon and Apocdad can get something done. Fairly reasonable.
Underground trying to work their way into this game. Boost to trying to find a pick on outside or get a kill on Silo. I thought this is where they're going to put PC in the last round. So we'll see if this off angle works well for Apocdad this time around. Silo is the angle he has to be concerned about. Underground just running a 1-4 sitting in lobby while they leave Omicella to his own devices on top of Silo. Running into this pistol stack could be troublesome for the Ts here.
Very troublesome indeed. The quick kills come through for those riflers, and all of a sudden the round breaks open. Pistolers not quite having the same success, though. Damio making this push puts him in a position with that 5-7 to get something done. He won't land the headshot that he needs. And so, once again, it looks like Underground may just get themselves through a round by the skin of their teeth.
Yeah, Apocdad's so low, he's just going to save the rifle for next. Falcon's still got enough to buy into the next round, so he might go prodding a little, but without a kit, I think he doesn't have any real serious prospects of really winning this round. Instead, he's just going to go through lobby side, see if he can find a lurker or an exit, maybe even pick up a little bit more util. Housebets still taking guns away from Underground as they continue to pick up rounds on this T side, so kind of death by 1,000 cuts to the T side economy for now. but I will still require Housebets to come up with the goods in one of these early gun rounds if they want to try to close out this game, because otherwise, I mean, Underground slowly working their way through this T side. Their T side on Dust 2 looked pretty well organized, had some good util behind it. And so far, so good on Nuke. Good mid-rounding.
Yeah, I mean, it's exactly as we said, wasn't it? Where, you know, if they could maybe start this half well, there's a chance. There's a small chance, definitely, but there's always a chance. And putting the right pieces of the puzzle together to start to make a convincing argument that there may be something out of this map still. But early days yet, so not getting too excited at this stage. And a slow approach from Underground to kick this round off.
I started to make some moves on outside. Night Raid looking for that opening pick. There's the waterfall smoke, top side of Annex. And they'll connect the rest of the wall as well. Damio looking to play inside of it. Breaking it open for PZ to try and get an ult pick, but Underground are taking their time. Another nade breaks it open from PZ, but still not quite finding the right angle to find an opener for the CT side. And Underground now making some moves into Warehouse. Oh, the jiggle. Mechanicals lost the bomb. Second player in Warehouse spotted out as well.
V5, not a place you'd want to be here as Underground. Night Raid looking for the entries with the AWP. Somewhat shotgun style there into Annex. He's actually going to get picked off by PZ, who is having a grand old time on Outer. Coops has been spotted on the way in, so that'll be an easy one for Damio. And it looks like this round is going to be an easy one in the end for Housebets. Just as it started to maybe get rolling for Underground, Housebets pull one back.
Well, Underground have pretty much emptied the bank account to try to buy up into this round. And with 1900 loss bonus, if they drop this round, it's the end of the game for them. Once again, going towards outside, this time the far wall of smoke. And look, they were having a tough time blowing open those smokes and finding picks in the last round, Housebets. But that one has been an absolute banger for PZ. And Underground must live through the rest of this round with a player disadvantage. They're also getting shut out of Secret. Great mollies and HE nades just chipping away at the T's. Getting battered and bruised from every angle so far.
Yeah, that's not a bad look at all from PZ. Hello. He's back. Don't mind seeing that at all. Damio will clean it up. 12-5. This is looking like it'll be a done deal for Housebets, but yeah, I think there's definitely some positive signs to take away from this. Particularly PZ having a good night. You know, I think he was one of the AWPers that really struggled with that transition from CSGO to CS2. But if he's back and ready to grind it out, maybe that's what Housebets needs.
Yeah, full buy coming through, but couldn't put together too much here, Underground. Pistols and armor. Round 8, Galil once again choosing to go towards outside. You can see Housebets, knowing that the money's not so great for the T side, were kind of maybe expecting something towards upper. And as a result, look, Underground has actually made their way straight down Secret in towards lowers, taking a little bit of damage to get down there. Wombat's in position to try to slow this one down. Great molly to do so. That can get put out by Coops, but already you're seeing a couple of CTs that have made it down vent.
Oh, this, yeah, I mean, it's over before it begins, really. Mechanical is done, and so is the map. 13-5. Housebets will clean it up. Nice little 2-0 to kick off their campaign here in Season 49 of ESL Challenger League Oceania, which is Going to have them right on track with the likes of Vantage and Rooster, who at the moment are the only undefeated teams apart from Talon, who are yet to play a game. So already it's been quite a messy season.
Yeah, for sure. I think, we've had many seasons of ECL in Oceania where things have kind of gone as expected. I think last season and this season have kind of been a departure from that, where you do see some upsets, you do see some games kind of going in different directions than you would expect. I think that's down to the parity in the Oceanic region, as well as kind of the format as well. Player to watch, Omichella had a couple of good rounds again tonight against his old team here. But when you're on the losing squad, hard to put up amazing stats. He's just serviceable, kind of did his job, but particularly on Nuke, not too much more that he could have done, unfortunately. I think Housebets just kind of outplaying their opponents a little bit. Some of the boys playing pretty solidly and kind of passing this underground test, so to speak. Would like to see how they go taking on some of the better teams in the current form that they're in.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I think it's definitely something that, Housebets can look to ramp forward in, whereas Underground at this stage, I think there's some serious work that needs to be done. I mean, they are obviously still pretty early on in the piece for this season of ESL Challenger League, but that's 6 games played, like 6 BO1s already played, and, there's only so many that you're going to actually have under your belt, and they've only won 1 of those, so a lot of work needing to be done for sure. But I guess we'll have to just wait and see and keep an eye on things, how they end up playing out here. I would say for me, that is definitely enough to kind of keep interested in Housebets, if that makes sense. Like, I wasn't necessarily 100% sold. I was kind of like, all right, are these guys going to be real competitors or whatnot this season? But that was good. I thought that was good. Put them up against a Mind Freak, put them into a game like that and see what that test is going to look like. And maybe we see a bit of a different side and, start to justify things a little bit more from Housebets' perspective. But I think it was enough, at least from the opening game, to say, okay, that was decent. And I'm interested in seeing what more they're going to be able to provide for us. So I like that, at least. I think that's a start.
Yeah, it's a good game from Housebets. Had a couple of good rounds out of the Underground guys as well. Unfortunately, season is not really going the way that they would have wanted. 1 of 5 from 6 matches is already digging themselves a little bit of a hole in the early stages. So, look, we'll see if they can turn around their season. It is only the round robin format, so looking for a couple of those teams that are putting themselves in a good position to head through to the playoffs, and then we'll go from there on the path towards more Oceanic teams playing overseas over at ESL Pro League, man.
Yeah, indeed. And I tell you what, we'll go on to a different path as well in about an hour or so. It's time for us to sort of say goodbye to Oceania, but we'll be back again a little bit later on for Asia. That match is going to be Lin Vision and the Huns. We get to see this new look, old look Lin Vision. It's going to be exciting. I haven't watched them yet with this roster, and they've got Call Me Sue in, who was playing over in North America for a little while. So I think that'll be fun. And obviously the Huns is always an interesting team to watch as well. So tune in for that one if you're interested in a bit of Asia action. Until that point, though, we'll say goodbye for now and see you later.
Think you've seen it all? With Faceit Watch's Point of View Selector, you can experience the game from any pro's perspective. Use the multi-view feature and customize the stream with up to 4 angles. Control what points you see while earning rewards. Drops are activated and lucky winners will receive Faceit points. And if you ever miss a match, VODs are now available. Get instant access to demos with multiple POVs and commentary. Watch it, control it, Faceit.
If you wanna be my love, baby, gotta take it slow. If you wanna be my love, I'll show you what you wanna know. If you wanna be my love, baby, gotta take it slow. If you wanna be my love, I'll show you what you wanna know. Yeah. La 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 la. Yeah. Your life hits hard, but I hit right back. I never back down. I keep it on track. It's the same day with no problems. I keep rising from the bottom. Cause when the sun comes up and I look around, I can feel that love, I can hear that sound. They're never gonna hold me down. I'm higher than the ceiling now. And then I need to worry about, cause I got no problems. I know it's gonna be alright. It's getting better every time. Nobody's gonna kill my vibe, cause I got no problems. Yes, every day was a war. Yeah, it kinda took a while. When they tell me I should stay, I just jump with a smile. Yeah, it's hard until you notice. Everybody's got their moment. When the sun comes up and I look